ChatGPT has once again completely changed the game. I'm going to be talking specifically about how you can use this new ChatGPT Atlas for print on demand. And I'm going to get into what ChatGPT Atlas is, but please understand that this is one of the biggest things to happen to ChatGPT. It's one of the most advanced things that they have done, and my brain is exploding with the amount of ways we are going to be able to use this, amount of time we're going to be able to save, the level of work that we're going to be able to create, the speed, I said time, but more the amount of designs we're going to be able to make, the amount of boring, repetitive tasks that sometimes feature in print on demand, like uploading designs and uploading mock-ups and changing titles. All of these tasks are going to be able to be done with just a few simple clicks. It's genuinely insane. So let me show you what ChatGPT Atlas is, and then I'm going to show you how you can use it specifically for print on demand. Okay, so ChatGPT Atlas is going to change everything. As I said, it's basically the ChatGPT and web browsing combined into like this single tool made by OpenAI, who, by the way, are the makers of ChatGPT. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions about security and all of this, but to put it really, really simply, OpenAI or ChatGPT have basically just created their own browser. Okay, think of Chrome, Safari, or any of these. ChatGPT have now created their own and embedded ChatGPT. So OpenAI have now created their own browser and embedded ChatGPT across the entire thing. And this might sound like, okay, cool, who cares? But it's brilliant, and I'm going to show you why. So this is the announcement. Once you download it, you can just click login with ChatGPT. It works if you've got a free account, and if you have a pro ChatGPT account, you're basically just able to use the agent tool. And by the way, I'm not being paid to make this or anything. I'm genuinely blown away, and I know it can help you so much with your business. So I wanted to get a video out there nice and quickly so that you could use it if you wanted to. So you can log in with ChatGPT directly and then sync your details over from Chrome. So think of it like all your Chrome bookmarks, right? Look at this. These are all the bookmarks, right? These aren't my bookmarks, my brother's bookmarks, but these are all the bookmarks that you can sync over, right? All the passwords you can sync over, right? You can have extensions, obviously downloads, bookmarks. It's just like a browser on steroids almost, right? And then you could do some fun stuff. So of course it's got incognito mode. You can change the color of the browser. I mean, we all know that's a little bit irrelevant, but it's just a bit of fun. Why not? But I think the big thing here is the fact that it's a normal browser and that will have all of our bookmarks, we'll have all of our different things, and it's brilliant, right? There's obviously going to be elements of Chrome and Safari that are far better, but if you think about it, Safari and Chrome are standalone browsers. That's what they do, right? They've been in research and development for years and years and years. They are, powerhouses. This is the first edition of OpenAI's browser, and it's already this good. I can't even begin to think how good this browser is going to get, but it's going to be absolutely insane. So let's go through it. You've got general browser settings like you would normally have, tab style, theme, accent, color, languages, and you've got some other cool ones. So you've got some special options, right? Like your addresses, bookmark, downloads, extension, passwords, payment methods. So again, this is all the same sort of stuff that you'd find on Chrome. So in terms of security and all of that kind of stuff, it's just a normal browser. I'm not personally nervous to put my passwords into this browser, just like I wouldn't be nervous to put my passwords into Chrome, if that makes sense, right? And this whole, I've seen some comments where people are like, oh, but then OpenAI are going to have all of your data. Well, what's the difference between OpenAI having all of my data and Google having all of my data? Like, it's there on the internet. There's things there's encryptions and safety, mechanisms and stuff. So it's just using another browser, really. And then you've got cool personalization settings. I mean, I wouldn't really overthink this, but the cool one here is browser memories. So not just with ChatGPT, you can get it to remember past chats, right? So if you're asking ChatGPT something and then you bring up a new chat and you ask something, you can reference your previous chat. Now you can do that with memories. So browser memories, this is so cool. So imagine like you search for something 6 months ago, you can't quite remember what it was, but you have a vague idea. You can now just put in to the ChatGPT browser, it was about 6 months ago. I was searching for this product. I can't remember. It was green and it was like a backpack, but like it wasn't. And you can like be very vague with it, and it will pull up your history and it will find what you were searching for. Right, because it's got all of that memory there. It's so cool. I don't know how many times you've gone to your history and like scroll, trying to find something like you can't quite remember what it was, and now you can just ask and it's all there, which I think is really, really cool. Right, now the old way of doing things will feel impossible now. Writing by hand to the printing press, right? It's crazy how much we're moving forward, right? And let's talk about the old slow way that we would do something with ChatGPT. So we'd start with Chrome, we'd open up a browser, we'd copy the text over, we then open up a new tab for ChatGPT, we then paste that text over, we then go back to that first browser tab over here, if we can find it, and chances are we're going to get lost and confused. And I don't know about you, but more often than not, my browser looks like this. There are literally hundreds of tabs, Google Docs, different Facebook ads open, different Shopify pages open, multiple school pages open. It's just a mess. Gmail, all of it, right? And that's what it looks like. The new way, which is this specific way because of this new browser, right? You've got ChatGPT directly in the browser. It's genuinely a game changer. So you're going to have this button in the top right corner. It's always there in the browser. You can always ask ChatGPT. This isn't some, rubbish Chrome extension where, it's not all there. For example, with a Chrome extension, it's not your passwords aren't there, your history's not there, all the cookies aren't there. None of that stuff is there. Because this is its own browser, you've got all your information there, so you could do a lot more with it. I was thinking this morning, I need to make in the UK, we have a shop called Tesco. Think of like a supermarket wherever you are. And I was thinking, I need to make a Tesco order. There's like 50 items on my shopping list. I can now go to Tesco and I can copy and paste my shopping list into the Ask ChatGPT and just say, find all these things on tesco.co.uk and add it to my basket. And it will go and do it. Like, it will go and do it in the background and it will do it in a few minutes. And that will save me maybe half an hour to an hour of searching, adding this, that, and then all I need to do is go into the basket and see it. And that's on a completely separate, non-business related thing, but it's just a cool feature. It's a cool way of using. It's like having a personal assistant almost, right? And there's so many ways you can do it. For example, on my next holiday, we're renting cars. And instead of me going and trying to find the best deal, I can just put it in and say, find me the best deal. Open the browser and say, find me the best deal. And it can find it, it can book it, it can do whatever you want it to do. Now, you might not want to go as far as allowing it to book things and pay for things and that kind of stuff, which is understandable. But just like with the Tesco order, just adding it to my basket so that I can then go and look at my basket and see, right, is this all correct? Yes, let's go and like pay for it now. I just think that's amazing. So just going back, it opens directly in the browser, not a new tab, right? It's just over there. You see? And then it shows up over here. It just like kind of pops to the left. Okay, so just another quick thing. You can change the size for a split screen view. You can just, drag it open. And that's cool. It's not the biggest deal, like if you care. But what is nice and what's never really been done before is being able to have the ChatGPT in the browser specifically related to that browser that you're on. So if you're on whatever browser it might be and you say ask ChatGPT, it's thinking specifically for that page that you are on. So imagine opening up a blog post and you just, instead of having to copy the entire blog post or the link and put it into ChatGPT and say summarize this and then read it and then go back, you can literally just open up ask ChatGPT and just say summarize this in 5 sentences and it will know to summarize this specific page. Right? It just speeds everything up. So what is ChatGPT Atlas useful for, specifically with print on demand? Because we know it's useful for very a lot of things. It doesn't matter what it is you're doing, what business you're in, what personal help you need, whether it's shopping or flights or holidays or work or this or emails, doesn't matter. It's great for obviously all of that, but I want to bring this home a little bit because obviously I talk about print on demand. I try and help people build print on demand businesses, whether it's on this YouTube channel or in my community. So let's bring it home and find out how ChatGPT Atlas can be useful for print on demand. So I just said, what are 50 ways it can be used for print on demand with Shopify store and a brand? Because obviously that's what we do. And there are so many useful ways we can do it. So if you want, pause the video, I'll just hold this here. You can screenshot this if you want. So just to kind of go through a couple of them, writing product descriptions, that's one example. Create SEO titles, generate collection names, suggest UX fixes. So imagine opening up your Shopify store and saying, what's wrong with this website? Pretend to be a customer, go through it and highlight any issues. Just so much. Analyze reports. Imagine opening up Printify and asking it to upload or edit or this or that, brainstorming ideas, email automation. So imagine getting customer service emails and just being like, okay, let's open ask ChatGPT, create a response for me. Marketing, writing copy, all this kind of stuff. It's brilliant. But there's one thing that it didn't suggest in its kind of suggestions, right? It doesn't even know what its full potential is. And that's what blows my mind. If you know how to use AI, you know how to use ChatGPT, it's so powerful than just plodding along and using it for the basic things. Like if you really know how to use it and you know what to ask and how to ask it, the possibilities are absolutely endless. So let's have a look at one feature just for print on demand, right? What we're going to do is we're going to head over to Etsy, right? So here, we've got on the Etsy page over here, and we've got all of these different golf t-shirts. So we search golf tees, and what we do is we right click so we can see this is a bestseller, right? So we right click the bestseller and we click Ask ChatGPT. And what that does is it pops open, let me just zoom out a little bit for you. It pops open the ChatGPT window over here, right? And you can see the images there. And then we can just put a prompt in. So make me a t-shirt design that looks like this one, but make it for the plant niche. Or there's various different ways to prompt this. There's actually better ways to prompt this. So you can kind of say, using this exact t-shirt design style, make it for the golf niche and use, these words or whatever. All of this training is in my community. But right here, all in the same browser. Bear in mind, we haven't left the browser yet, okay? So this was the prompt that we used, right? And this is what we asked it. Now, whilst we wait for ChatGPT to give us an answer, I want to tell you that you have to know this isn't just about writing a simple prompt. You need to learn what good designs are and how to prompt AI like this using the correct language. As I said earlier, AI is great and, it can either be brilliant for you or terrible for you. But at the end of the day, AI on its own is brilliant. You just need to know how to use it. You need to know how to analyze your designs so you know if they're good, because AI could spit out some rubbish. You need to know how to build your store, your business, and actually scale it profitably, because print on demand with Shopify and building a brand, there's so much to it. And that's what we cover in our community, the Design Hub. Even though it's called Design Hub, it's not just about design. We talk about so many things. And the reason why I called it Design Hub is because design is the most important element of this business. Without good designs, nothing else works, right? But this community covers the entire aspect of print on demand and building a brand. So if you do want to check out the community, click the link down below. The price is increasing to $99 in November. It's currently $49. And if you get in now, you lock in that price. We are increasing it due to various things. We are rebuilding the entire structure. We are adding hours and hours and hours of new material, new resources, new AI, new software. And it's actually going to be like the best thing for print on demand. The most robust, most structured approach to print on demand or learning and building a print on demand business. So that's why we are increasing that price. But you can get in at $49 at the moment because it's not November yet, unless you're watching this video and it is November, in which case this is a little bit awkward. But in the community, you have an active community. You've got the step-by-step classroom. You've got members literally all over the world. You've got a packed out calendar. You get personalized feedback from me, so you can share your designs, your store, whatever, and I will actually help you as if it's one-on-one, which is, I don't know if anyone does that. That's just very, very, very personalized. And then let's bring it back to AI a little bit. You get the best prompts for perfect AI images from ChatGPT or other top AI image tools. So you get the top 10 prompts that we use, the prompt builder, so you can actually, put your information in here and it will give you prompts that you can actually put into ChatGPT or something. You'll get tons of templates of t-shirts so that you have more winning designs to use with AI tools. So you get all of these, and then you get all of these. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of best-selling design templates that you can use as inspiration. Now let's go back to our ChatGPT design because it's probably ready by now, right? So we asked it to make this, but for the plant niche, and it did this. Not bad. I would make a few changes, but that's absolutely fine. To be honest, the prompting could have been a bit better. And if the prompting was a little bit better, it probably would have done it first time around. But I also don't mind having to tweak things. But as well as the couple of design changes, we also don't want it showing on a t-shirt, and we don't want the background. So we could just do a follow-up prompt. Now only use the printed design itself on a true PNG with transparent background. And there you go. Right, that's it. An instant download, just click the download button. So just to kind of show you, this is a PNG, right? Pretty cool, right? And what's amazing is we never actually left the Etsy tab. This all happened within that specific Etsy tab. Imagine having tabs on Amazon, on Shopify, on the school community. Imagine going to the school community and just asking it to break down the top posts if you want to look for something, or you want to search something and you say, where can I find this? And ChatGPT is right there and it has all the information for you. Oh my gosh, it's mind-blowing how powerful this has become. It's scary how powerful this has become. And you could do so much more as well. You know, for example, let's just zoom out a little bit. I've added screenshots of the page just to make sure it has the context that I'm looking at, right? You can see there, but you can see just above that, it's taking its information from this specific page. So you don't even need to put the screenshot in. But using this, I said, based on all of this, build me an avatar, a customer avatar of who my customers will be. And look, it just did it. So based on t-shirts on this page, build me a complete avatar and target audience for the plant niche, including a list of 25 designs that I could make with phrases and descriptions. So here's the complete custom avatar. Again, all based off of the information it's finding on this page. Design prompts and descriptions, styling and branding recommendations, all within that single Etsy tab. This is insane. This is so flipping cool. So this is, as I said, just a little bit of what this new browser is going to be able to do. And it's, browser version 1. You wait for browser version 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's really, really powerful, and it's going to speed up your workflow significantly. So yeah, definitely check this out and see how you can use it in your business. And as I said, you've just seen how the new ChatGPT Atlas browser changes everything for print-on-demand sellers. Now imagine knowing exactly what to ask the AI and turning every prompt into designs that actually sell, amongst other things. I want you to learn how to do this, build your own profitable print-on-demand business and brand by joining me inside the Design Hub. As I said, we'll take you from niche to design to branding to store to ads to scaling to emails, the whole 9 yards. We are going to cover it in our community, and now is probably the best time to get in because it's the cheapest it's ever going to be. The link will be down below. Just click, join, and I'll see you in there. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about this new OpenAI's Atlas browser? You think it's all hype? Do you think it's going to be crap? Do you think it's going to fall and crumble or whatever? Or do you genuinely think it's going to be the staple browser that people use? It's going to replace Chrome. It's going to replace Firefox, Safari, Edge. Is Edge even a thing anymore? Opera, is that even a thing anymore? Do you think this is going to be the new standard? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And and if you want to join the community, honestly, it would be amazing to have you. And I can't wait to help you build your business. And I'll see you soon.